I wanted to do something special for you guys today since it's Election Tuesday because most of you, honestly, will go to the voting booth and luckily not have had a wealth of experiences that I have had over the past 10 years. So, as I leave my public housing unit, my Section 8 apartment, I wanted to just share this process with you to show you why I'm not voting Democrat or Republican, and why I'm urging you as well to not vote for either of these jokers. I see a few people lining up right now. Vote, 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 vote. For 10 years, for 10 years, I reached out to every candidate, definitely Democrats in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and California where I lived. And I said, I have a big problem, big situation, specified the problem, specified the situation, and what I got was no response. So now it's voting day. And oh boy, they've pulled out all the stops. I'm not going to go there because there's someone there. They pulled out all the stops, brought out celebrity this, celebrity that. Some of those people who are living off of royalties, being treated like royalty, while I slept outside. Now I'm going to show you why. I'm going to pause and stop this so I have a little time to show you why this is so ridiculous. And then again, I'm going to urge you to vote for a third party and not any of these bastards. I'm going to show you what the ridiculousness of it all is. And hopefully, wherever you are, if you haven't voted already, you'll choose to show, especially if you're black. If you're a black person, you need to show these Democrats that they need to work for you. Not just talk about it, but be about it. And the Republicans, they can't just be the second option because the Democrats are so bad. This is just error in thinking. So give me a minute and I'll be back to go through my voting process with you. I'm not going to go inside just yet. I want to show you exactly what's going on. I'm actually glad that I read this because I had a name change, and so they gave me instructions on how to complete and get a valid voting ballot if you have a name change. So I'm glad I read that. But otherwise, it's so interesting how prominent Hillary Clinton is. I mean, did they do it by last name? I'm not sure. But there's a name here I want you guys to focus in on. And that's Jill Stein. None of these other people, none of these other propositions, none of these people responded to me. So tell me why I should respond to them. None of 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 them. The thing about human beings is that we are, unless we're empathetic, unless we have an ability to think outside of the box, we are extremely limited to our own experiences and the experiences of people who we love and we trust. And so that's why most people just won't get it. Most people will think, oh, yeah, vote for Trump, vote for Hillary Clinton. And I thank God that my experience is different. Isn't it funny that the only day where we're equal is on voting day? It's the only day where everybody gets a chance to say what they truly feel. And although I know that local elections are more important, I'm not voting for any of those people. They didn't vote for me. When I went to them and told them, they laughed in my face. And so I'm going to do one better. I'm just not going to respond. So what I wanted to share with you, because there's a line, is the copyright registration that I registered on Friday. And I had to rush register it. But let me go through why this is so important. This is what I've been talking about for the past 10 years, from the president to the county supervisor to the local mayor to Congress people all over the state, the top. Congress people, senators in Connecticut, senators in Massachusetts, all places that I have associations with. These are my original songs. One after one, after one. One after one. One after one. One after one. Now, some of you, if you're really good in your music history, they might be familiar with some of these words. Look at the dates. Out of my journal, straight out of my journal, one after one. Handwritten. They're not typed. One after one. One after one. Now, the importance of this copyright registration is, oh yeah, that's everybody's favorite, single ladies, right? My body. I'm going to keep going. I wasn't going to do them all, but might as well. Song after song. I'm at 29 now. Okay, and then we have the first song I actually wrote, which was Growth. Now, this is the majority of 10 years of songs that have been changed in such a way that they don't reflect the love and passion that I wrote them with. Sometimes the anger and the frustration that I wrote them with. And they made them cute and available for the mass public without putting my name on it. As you can see, my former name is on every one of these songs. Every one of them. And now they're all registered. These songs have been generating billions of dollars for everybody else, including, obviously, Jay-Z and Beyonce. And Hillary Clinton congratulates them, a recent high school graduate and a former drug dealer who have benefited from my work while my family lives in poverty in the worst neighborhoods. Hell no. And I got one more for you, one more piece that I want my family members who know, to understand. I'll be right back after I put in the ballot. And there's one more, the last song of mine that was stolen. Now, the line is still long, and I think it's probably going to be pretty long this morning. But the good thing is that people are equal. No vote is more than the other one today. I mean, there's the Electoral College, but no vote stands out. Every vote is equal, one by one. The votes are counted. In fact, I think that we should get rid of the Electoral College, make it really, really nice and equal. And so now that I've shown you maybe 5-10 minutes of why Hillary Clinton standing with Jay-Z is such a slap in the face to me. It's a complete disrespect to me. Knowing that I reached out to her. But no, we're going to just close our eyes, close our ears, and play politics. So this is what I want you to do, particularly the African Americans who, they believe they already got your vote, so why should they, look out for you? Black people, my family in particular, specifically, while Jay-Z and Beyonce and Alicia Keys were taking my money and food off the table and making it impossible for me to do the basics over the past 10 years. If you don't really understand that part, even my family might not even understand because I wasn't able to communicate with them. Think about Candy, Georgette Austin. How many times did she have to call the police before being brutally murdered by Frank? How many times did she call? Now, why is that significant? What does that have to do with Hillary Clinton? Well, my cousin was working for Yale, the law school that Hillary and Bill went to. She called the police several times. I spoke to her from here. Police were hounding me, putting me in jail. I'm needing help. Can't help my cousin, who's the only family member I was in touch with. And she's being beaten and raped. And Yale police smirked and said, why didn't she call the police? when I asked about her or when I informed them why I was sleeping outside. Smiled. They already knew who she was. She worked for Yale University for 15 years, had just received her 15-year certificate honoring her service to the university. She was well known, well liked, and was connected to New Haven, who ignored her. Cries for help. Yale ignored her. Cries for help. And so I know what it's like. I'm voting for Candy. I'm voting for Georgette Austin. Christopher Jefferson, her brother, murdered 3 months after her. Broad daylight, trashed by the side of the road, half naked. Another cousin, 2 weeks prior, murdered broad daylight on the north end of Hartford. So when we say Black Lives Matter, huh? Black people need to figure out how to love themselves first and love their neighbor. Because obviously you matter, but if you don't even matter to yourself and to your community, then there's no need to put it on a pen and chant it in the street. When you can assume, when somebody's sharing their lives with you, and you can do the same thing that the police and government officials have done over the past 10 years, you're not doing anything different. You're just a person who listens to mass media and doesn't have an opinion outside of your own experience. And you might be lucky that you do. You haven't had family members murdered. You don't own things of value that other people are generating income from. This is not important to you beyond being associated with what everybody else is doing. But to me, it's quite important. So I'm urging you, my family members, especially, choose a third-party candidate who at least is fighting for you and doesn't want to play politics with your life. The rest of you, you can do what you want, but at least you've heard my story. At least I told you my truth. At least I shared. Some people, they sit in silence and they end up like my cousin. I'm still fighting. I'm still making things happen. I'm not going to let people not give me the respect and the money that I'm due. Oh no. So no matter who ends up in the Oval Office, you will be seeing me. You will be hearing from me every day until I get money. The money, all of the money that has been generated from my personal thoughts and feelings, stolen, humiliated online, you will be hearing from me. So nice to meet you. I'm Molasses Jones. I'll see you soon. Peace. Make sure you vote right. Make sure you vote for yourself and your family. So yes, I just put in my ballot. I voted for myself, my business. I voted for my family and for my community. And I actually feel really great. And I have a long time. Hello. I have a long time musician here who's working at the voting booth, and I want to share with her what I've been fighting for so long. She's a new neighbor, new friend, attends a church nearby, but it was just so nice to see her and give her a warm hug before placing in a vote that's so politically charged, so important that I'm not sure how many people really understand. At least for me, very, very important. So at least people are showing up and making it happen for themselves, for their families, and for their communities, equalizing their voices. So I urge you to get out there and do the right thing. And so I'm signing off, Molasses Jones, and today is Taste Test Tuesday. Who are you eating? And who's going to be at the top of your vote? We'll only see at the end of the day. I'm staying up. It's going to be a late night tonight.
You say you mean good for me, but you don't do it. You say you have a plan, but you just don't go through with it. You say you know the way to go, and I should follow. But all of your empty promises leave me hollow. And oh, how do I trust you? How do I love you when you lie to me repeatedly? And oh, how do I have faith in you when you just don't come through like you said you